This is the Sports Desk on SYN 90.7, and you are here with Lucy,
Mel,
and Harun.
And, Wednesday means politics, and I've had 12 hours sleep, so I'm feeling really good.
What a good start to the day.
A good start to the Wednesday.
So Lucy's all prepped and ready to smash out some hardcore politics.
Let's do it. Yeah. No, but I wasn't here last week because I was away in Byron Bay. And then
Shame.
Shame. I know, right? It was nice in that 26-degree weather, sitting by the beach.
Yeah, thanks. It was raining.
Yeah.
Here.
And then I always got Snapchats from everyone being like, it's like 10 degrees and raining in Melbourne. And I was like, oh, damn.
I was dripping at the start of last week's show from coming in the rain. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I
thanks,
probably
Lucy.
slept until about 10:30 and
Yeah,
went out
good.
for breakfast.
Thank
in
you.
the
Don't want to
sunshine.
hear about it.
But as we said, I've had 12 hours of sleep. I've fully recovered. And now we're here for Wednesday's Spolitics. And we're talking first about the Cavs. And this was something that you brought my attention to.
Yeah,
Mel.
because I know so much about NBA, so I was all over this. Damn it, I've forgotten what's my catchphrase? Triple double. Triple double. No, anyway, the Cavs. This is good politics.
Yeah, it is.
So Irving, the young gun at the Cavs, has requested a trade. Which is huge news because he's kind of, obviously LeBron's their number one man, but then Irving's the next in line almost. He's if LeBron wasn't there, he's the king of the town.
Yeah, but before LeBron came, he was the guy because he signed a 5-year contract before LeBron came.
Yeah.
So he had it on good authority. I guess he was going to be the guy, but then LeBron comes back and
Correct.
He's going to play the number 2 now.
Exactly, and so it's looking like he's not happy with that, and so there's like what happens from here. So, I mean, do the Cavs try and salvage the relationship between he and LeBron and try and find a way to make them both stay? Do they let him go? Obviously, on the trade table, he's worth a lot. An interesting thing that I read is if they try and salvage it or they drag this out potentially to even next year's trade period, the press and the commentary that would surround Irving and LeBron James all year, so they're teammates, and there's going to be constant speculation, and every interview they do, journos going, well, Irving hasn't played that well. Yeah. Do you reckon he should just leave? And vice versa. Irving, are you sick of being... So that would just go on and on and on and get worse.
Yeah, right now the Cavs are highly leveraged on older, more veteran players.
Mm-hmm.
They've got no draft picks. They've got outside of maybe LeBron or Irving, they've got no real tradable picks, tradable players that they can get anything back for. So it's are you going to blow things up, or are you going to somehow try and bring LeBron and Kyrie to the table and maybe go for one more run? Because remember, LeBron can opt out of his contract next year. So
that's the thing as well that's throwing a curveball into this, that LeBron could decide exactly at the end of next season, I'm out.
Well,
and plus, he has a no-trade clause as well. So, even if the Cavs wanted to trade him now, they can't because it's in the contract.
And LeBron turns 33 next year.
Yeah.
And, and obviously he has displayed that he's not yet past his prime. He's still probably... If the Cavs won that final series, he would have been, the best player of the final series because he was going to be the one that brought them back. But it's without Kyrie Irving... LeBron James wouldn't have been able to achieve as much as he did in that final series. Because, you always need someone, as annoying as it is, to be a support player, to play second fiddle. But if that second fiddle isn't any good, then what's going to happen? It's with Russell Westbrook and
Kevin Durant,
and stuff. It's he averaged a triple-double last season, the first player since 19.
Yeah, but got bounced out in the first round,
But his team bounced out in the first round because, unfortunately, even if you average triple-double... You can't hold a team. You can't carry a team.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it's just going to be... I mean, how the Cavs play this is going to be super, super interesting because, as you mentioned, if they go, all right, Irving, you don't want to be here, let's chuck you on the table, let's get as much as we can for you. But then in a year's time, LeBron decides he's out, the Cavs are screwed.
But I remember at the same time, though, 12 of the 13 top players in the Western Conference right now.
Yeah.
So all
Yeah.
the essentially good players that play for the Golden State, all
Correct.
the West Coast Coast teams, and there's like no competition for the
Cavs, yeah.
in the East. And so like, are you going to take the chance of completely decimating the East for the next 5 to 6 years? Where like, and then like TV companies that like either ESPN or TNT or whoever broadcasts the games will be like, why are we getting all the shit games?
Yeah.
It's not fair, and that makes that even hypes it like more. Even more interestingly though, every time LeBron is about to be a free agent, there's always some form of drama.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which has always been a constant with him.
Yeah, that is true.
And then the Cavs now have also pulled another power play in signing Derrick Rose.
Yes.
From the New York
I
Knicks.
love this.
Yeah.
Because he's had a tough run.
Yeah.
And he is a gun. So I like that they've thrown the dog a bone.
Yeah.
And I hope that he can have a crack at it. And that... Because his most recent knee surgery was earlier this year.
Yeah.
So, whether he'll be able to play...
Yeah, well, he had knee surgery and still averaged 18 points last season, which is pretty big.
Yeah.
Like, pretty good for someone.
But yeah,
who's
so
had
you're right.
tough run.
That's a good scalp.
That's a good
Hopefully.
move, yeah. And, that could be them putting the pressure on Kyrie Irving, being like, well, we've signed this guy now. Even if it's only for a year, like, what are you going to do?
And interestingly, I can't remember which player it was because my NBA knowledge is so low. But one of the players tweeted on the back of this Irving announcement, just don't go... don't go to Golden State. Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't do it.
That came out really
Yeah.
low, didn't it? Good story.
Yeah.
No, but exactly. So even players getting involved, like, mate, please, like, they've got enough. Just don't go there.
Don't go there. But one question that I want to ask, like, in terms of this trade is, if the Cavs won the final series, do you think this would be happening?
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No
There
way.
we go.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because if I was Irving and after that final series, it's like Irving played an amazing final series. Like, he actually did. Like, he was pretty good. Like,
Yeah, well,
not pretty
compared
good.
to the one before, it's not
Yeah.
the same, but he still played really
But
well.
he still played really well. But then, but then everyone's like, oh no, LeBron's going to be the one that wins the Cavs.
Yeah,
You'd
and
be like, well, what about me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing
bit
a
of
lot
Shannon
of...
Knoll over
yeah,
here.
yeah, exactly.
No, but that's exactly the standpoint Irving's coming from. That, like,
Yeah.
well...
But say so wherever LeBron goes, he has to be the number one guy, and like that hurts a lot of players. Like that's emasculating for a lot of guys. Like, how am I gonna defer to somebody else when I know I can achieve just as more? As like, in like they did the research on this. In the previous finals, it was because of Kyrie's clutch points. Like, points scored in the last minute and a half of a game is what got them over the line against Golden State.
Well, there you go. Well, if I was Kyrie Irving, I'd be like, well, it's time that I got the credit that I deserve.
Yeah.
Especially when he's just only turning 25. So he's about to hit his
he's
prime.
still relatively like a baby in NBA terms.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Kyrie Irving has every right to request this trade, but it'll be very interesting to see where he's going to end up.
I'm very intrigued.
Yeah.
This is Politics 101.
This is Politics 101. It's just all the drama that we love. But when we come back, we're going to talk AFL and sort of along the same lines of, what do clubs, we're getting to the end of the season. Some of these, veteran kind of players are slowing down or, injuries. And it's like, what do you do? Who decides? Where does it end? Because I think that's another pretty highly political.
It's political.
It's political.
That was so funny. Oh, my Lord.
It's
political.
It's so much politics. So we'll come back and chat AFL, but we're going to go to a song now. And this is Casey Hill with Like a Woman. This is the Sports Desk on SYN 90.7. That was Casey Hill with Like a Woman. And we've just spoken the Cavs and trades and Kyrie Irving, which is just before we move on. Kyrie Irving, born in Melbourne.
Yes.
But plays in the USA.
But just disregards it.
But he's like, whatever. But actually played in the NBL.
Oh,
when
did
he?
he?
Was when he was young. And his father did too. That's why he was born in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So
that's a bit fun.
It's a good
but
story.
now he's off earning bazillions
of
and has no
dollars.
time for us.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But
Good on him.
speaking of trades, with the end of the AFL season coming up,
Yes.
now there's always the really awkward time when you have those older players, and we saw it last year with North Melbourne, the Kangaroos,
Yes.
and kind of how they handled the Boomer situation and all
Exactly.
of that. And so now we've got, I think the biggest one would probably be Nick Riewoldt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Probably it's sidekicked there by Lee Montagna as well at the Saints. But yeah, exactly. How
Sam Mitchell too. at West Coast.
Yeah, but his is different because he signed a deal with
That's
the
true.
like coaching agreement in it. So there's less like when he stops, he's coaching there.
Yeah.
So it's that's less of a thing. But yeah, we're talking about exactly when players are nearing the end of their career, but they're not just regular players, they're superstars. They've been, they're so ingrained in the club that they're a part of. How do you go about moving them on, if they're not willing to retire, but it's not really in the best interests of your side to play them another year. And that's exactly the battle that the Saints are facing at the moment. So I know for a fact that St Kilda don't want Joey Montagna or Nick Riewoldt to play on next year.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
So that's where we're finding this awkwardness now. Like, we don't have many rounds left if they don't make finals.
Yeah.
These guys have played forever and it's all still up in the air. It's up in the air because it's almost like the cricket pay dispute. Like, one side wants to play on and one side says no. But how do you... the politics question in this is, how do you handle this? So, we've seen the Cats over recent years exit a lot of their legends. Stevie J now at GWS, Jimmy Bartels, that ended not so amicably. What's the right way to go about this?
I don't know. It's so hard because I just think that it's like last year Boomer Harvey, like the games record holder, like 430 or over how many games he played. And like looking at how he was playing and how North Melbourne are playing now, they could have used him this year. You know what I mean? But then you have someone like Drew Petrie playing for them and it's kind of like, oh, you don't really need, like he's a bit of a hanger-on. But I felt sorry for Boomer Harvey in that it was essentially like he got sacked.
Yeah.
Which was really sad.
It's hard, isn't it? Because so Luke Darcy the other day on Talking Footy, 7:37 May, Monday nights, there's my weekly plug. But Luke Darcy said, he's of the opinion that players that reach that great of the game status, so your Boomers, your Bartels, your Nick Riewolds, should get to make the final call. Yeah. That's his opinion. I disagree, and it's so unromantic.
There's no right answer at the end of the day.
Yeah. See, I think, like, I agree with Luke Darcy with, like, they should make the final call. Like, I definitely think they should make the final call. One, because they deserve it. You know what I mean? But I think it comes down to, that would come down to so many other things. Like, what do they bring to the culture? Like, is Nick Riewoldt in there being I know for a fact that he probably wouldn't be doing this, but you probably would get some legends who would be like, well, I'm the best. I'm not leaving. This is where I'm playing. I'm just going to keep on playing. And
a bit of Gary Ablett at the Gold Coast.
Yeah, I don't care what any of you think. Like, that's just what's happening. And then everyone gets put in a really awkward position.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure, if you're playing on next year with, that kind of thing happening, everyone would kind of be like, oh.
But see, I think to speak specifically about Nick Riewoldt, I think the last couple of years have been the club being generous in that sort of thing. Like, well, you bring a lot to us off field, your leadership, all of that. But, he can't run. The game is beyond him. This season hasn't been good for him. He's so past his prime. I love him to bits, and you're a great player. But I really, at the end of the day, it's a business. And it's. I find it very interesting when we've seen recently Luke Hodge take the complete opposite approach.
I was going to bring that up, yeah.
He, in his presser announcing his retirement the other week, said, I know that if I play on next year, I want to, but if I play on next year, I'm taking a younger guy's spot, and that doesn't sit well with me. The complete opposite kind of attitude.
Yeah, this has been also a huge debate in European soccer, was players like Francesco Totti and John Terry. They've played soccer for the same team for 22 years now, and it's there's no good way to let them go unless you go on and you take them along on a championship run. And they give them a big standing ovation as they do to John Terry because they won the league last season. At the end, they gave him he got a walk of honor. He got to speak in front of the whole crowd. They stayed back for a long while. Unless it's that, there's, I think for most players that's their dream, I guess, and it's to retire. With confetti and raising that trophy one last time, but
unless you're playing in a team where it's going to happen, it's
an incredibly awkward situation, and no one knows the answer to it now.
But it is interesting you bring up the Luke Hodge thing. It's like, do you just go and be like, well, I don't want to, like I'm sure, yeah, as Luke Hodge said, it's like, I don't want to do this, but I think I just have to. Like,
I heard someone speculate, and it is a fair speculation, but that it's reflective of cultures at clubs.
Yeah.
So, you know, the Hawks, like Hodge took a pay cut kind of in their premiership success window. He took a pay cut to get other players, and so they've really had that, you know, we're part of a team focus.
Yeah.
The Cats, you could almost say a similar thing, and that's why they had some real bad blood exiting some of their champions, but not that bad in the scheme of things. Reflective of cultures at clubs, and someone that I spoke to recently speculated that perhaps Saints don't have that super ingrained that no one's bigger than the team at the moment, which almost sounds a little bit offensive to Nick Riewold's character, but I kind of, do you know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean. That whole kind of thing, like, we're here for each other, we're not here for ourselves.
Yeah.
And we all need to be of the mindset that what we do needs to be what is best for the team.
The team goes first.
The team comes first.
And that's exactly what we've seen with Hodgie. So
yeah.
It's interesting. It's awkward. Do you think Riewoldt will play on next year? Either of you?
I honestly do not know.
I think for the sake of his legacy, I think he should just retire.
Yeah.
That's what everyone's saying, but he's not listening.
He's not. Nick.
But in the other news to that, Joey Montana's scans look really bad, so it looks like his season's done, so I reckon he'll have no choice but to be done.
Oh, and just to bring another one in, Sean Burgoyne, like, he's played more games than Luke Hodge.
Do you think
he'll play on next year.
Yep.
And everyone says that he should play on next year.
Yeah.
So it's so weird. Because, obviously, because he can. So it's just so strange. Like, it's just like most things, it's like there's no one size fits all.
No.
Like, every single player is different. How they approach these things is going to be different. But I do think that Sean Burgoyne would do what Luke Hodge did and would come out and say, I'm going to retire.
I agree. And again, I think that's reflective of culture.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. Watch this space for Nick Riewoldt's decision. I mean,
I think we'll talk if it happens and how it happens.
Yeah.
Like, we'll definitely want to talk about that again, because is it going to be another Boomer Harvey situation?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be something else?
So hard when they're club legends.
So hard.
You know, we've all got to move on.
Exactly. We've all got to let go. And Sean Burgoyne, do you know who he's related to by marriage?
Who?
Aaron Phillips.
Really?
Yeah. And we're talking AFLW next after this song.
Segue.
I'm really proud of that one. Did think about it last night when I was like writing up the show.
No, that's cheating, then I won't pay it.
Oh,
but that is a fun fact that I didn't know.
Yeah, so Aaron Phillips, AFLW best and fairest of the inaugural season, is related to Sean Burgoyne because her sister is married to him.
There you go.
And she will be returning to the AFLW on September 2nd when they do the AFLW State of Origin. So a lot happening there, which we will unpack after this song, which is institutionalised by Kendrick Lamar. This is Sports Desk on 90.7. This is the Sports Desk on SYN 90.7, and that was Kendrick Lamar with Institutionalised. And we're back on my favourite topic.
Listen, you can just hear the smile
in
that voice.
Yeah. Which is the AFLW. And the AFL, when you would know this, Mel, they put it out to the fans being like, who wants State of Origin footy back? Earlier this year, wasn't it?
Yes.
And everyone was just like, we want it back. And they're like, oh, but these day and age, it's like, they just won't get anyone to commit to it now. Like,
well, and the thing is, though, the players want to do it. But it's all the politics around it of like what time of year, but also one of the key factors in that is if players are injured in State of Origin games, clubs are like, well, hang on, we're not paying for that because they weren't playing for us, and so it's a lot of that side of things,
which I find annoying because it's like they do it in the NRL every year, and players get, well, what's his name?
You'd be bloody flat though if one of your stars did their ACL in the State of Origin.
In a State of Origin.
You would be
flat. But you know what? They're taking a chance. And they're making the AFLW players the sacrificial lamb for this. So that's good. But no, in all honesty, like, this is very, very, very exciting.
It's awesome.
Because it was sort of thrown out there when this all happened, because there's obviously now that bye week between the
round
final
23
round 23 and the first week of finals. And last year there was the hugely successful AFL women's exhibition game where we saw Mo Hope kick 6 goals. Taylor Harris starred. Darcy V was there.
Smashed
Mel
ratings on
Hickey.
TV.
It was the highest watched AFL game all year of any round.
Was it?
Yep, 1.3 million people watched it.
Far out.
Yep, so hugely successful. So this year they're making the most of it, really, and bringing the AFLW State of Origin game to Etihad Stadium on September 2nd.
So that's a week before finals.
So the week before the finals.
So
yes.
there's
still no break now.
No. So there's no AFL men's games on.
Mm-hmm.
So the AFLW will be playing
As like a standalone game,
Oh,
thing of the weekend.
Yep.
But yeah, I am so glad that they're not doing AFLX.
Oh, I love. We have a run sheet that Lucy prepares, and in her run sheet she posed a question. Will we see, is this better than AFLX? And then she put in brackets. The answer to this is yes.
I don't even know what AFLX is.
See, exactly. You don't even know what AFL is. It's like them trying to make like a big bash of the AFL.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
That's exactly what it is.
And
Stop
it's like
trying to make fetch happen, Gil.
But like, I understand in the context of like overseas, if you want to grow the game, like nowhere has ovals. Like we have ovals unless you play cricket, and even then they're playing cricket on them.
Yep.
So, but most European nations will have a soccer pitch.
Yep.
So they've made it so it's like you can play AFL on a soccer pitch and like all that kind of thing.
It's just no.
But the AFL apparently is still hoping that
they still want to roll out some AFLX during this
that
round,
week or
which
whatever.
Is just okay.
Which all right. Anyway,
you do you AFL.
You do you AFL.
Do you.
But here we'll go back to the main event now, which is AFLW State of Origin. And we've got Debbie Lee, who is one of the pioneers of women's footy, especially in Victoria. She coaches the VU Western Spurs in the VFLW. And I spoke to her a few weeks ago about... Oh, she's also Melbourne FC's AFLW football operations manager. Mm-hmm. So she's all in charge of that as well. And I spoke to her a few weeks ago about AFLW and Melbourne holding their like trial day and stuff, and she sounds like she's very pumped about the AFL women's, and she's been quite surprised, or she said that she wasn't surprised by how surprised everyone else was about the girls and how well they can play and everything like that. So she'll coach the Victorian team and bring all of her knowledge, whereas the Ally, so it's Victoria versus the rest of Australia.
Yep.
And Beck Goddard, the premiership winning coach of Adelaide, will coach that team. So that's all very exciting. Like, they've got two big names coaching, and then just to reel off some of the big names playing for Victoria, we have Sarah Perkins from...
Yes, that was going to be my first one to mention too. That excites me. Her in the Big V.
Oh,
I just love it.
That's
is
true.
Just vintage footy. It's going to be great.
Sarah Tex Perkins in the Big V. Caitlin Ashmore, Bree Davey, Darcy Vesio, Alison Downey, Danielle Hardiman. We got Jess Cameron, former Australian footballer, Australian cricketer, playing for Victoria. And we got some young guns like Lily Mithen.
Mitho,
your
my
mate. Jasmine Grierson, who I have played with before. And then, standard big names like Daisy Pearce, Karen Paxman, Ali Blackburn, and Emma Carney, all playing for Victoria as well. Some people may be surprised that you do not see the name Katie Brennan
I was
in that squad.
Yes.
But she was born in Queensland, and so she could play for all the Allies. Mm-hmm. So I actually don't know, but then she was in the promotional photo wearing a big V. So
okay, well.
Dun.
Yeah, exactly. Speculation.
Lucy's onto something here.
But all of these squads are based on the All-Australian squad, and because Katie Brennan didn't play much of the AFLW season due to injury, she has been included yet, but players will be added. But with that, in the All-Australian side, we have massive names like premiership players Chelsea Randall, Erin Phillips, Ebony Marinoff, Courtney Cramey, Sabrina Frederick-Traub, who played in the premiership for Brisbane Lions, Brisbane captain Emma Zilke, Kate McCarthy, Leah Kasler, Sam Virgo, Taylor Harris, who has just recently moved to Carlton, Ebony Antonio from Fremantle, Erin McKinnon, Emma Swanson from GWS, and Elise O'Day from Melbourne, which I thought was a weird one. Elise O'Day playing for the Allies. So, huge names.
Two star-studded teams. Like, it's going to be a ripping contest. Like, I'm already looking forward to it.
Like, I think it's like for them to have like Erin Phillips, like Ebony Marinoff, You've got Daisy Pearce playing, like,
Yeah, you've got the stars of the
Sarah
comp.
Perkins. Like, I was worried that they were going to do it, and because it's September 2nd, the VFLW finals will be on.
Right.
So you would have a lot of teams maybe in that competition being like, oh, we're still playing. Like, I don't know about this. But
I think the good thing with the girls that play, like, this will be driven by the girls saying, we want to play in this. Like,
True.
You know, this is a huge match. It's a huge opportunity. And so many of these girls are still like, if people want to watch us play, we are so excited to play. And you know what I mean? Like, they still want to just go out and show off the game.
Yeah.
So,
The exhibition game work.
Yeah,
This is bound to work.
they just love promoting it. So I think that this is so driven by those gun players not wanting to miss it.
Yeah, that's what I think too, and I think that's been the beauty of the AFLW is that like a lot of all of this, like the really good stuff we've seen has been the stuff that's been driven by the players.
Yep.
You know, like sort of that like the immediacy of it, the kind of like the community feel of it, the approachability of all the players and all that kind of thing has come from the players.
That's a rare quality in sports these days.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's exactly driven by the girls kind of going above and beyond because they love it so much. And they're still just like, how good is this?
Yeah, and they want other people to love it too, which I think is good. But I think weirdly, but then I think if because of logisticals, I think that's a word.
Yep, sure. I'll pay it.
We'll add it next year.
The game is being played at Etihad Stadium.
Yep.
Which is pretty huge.
It's massive.
Which is huge. When I would arguably say, maybe play it down at Whitten Oval, maybe play it at Icon Park, pack it out.
Yeah, I was thinking about this, but I think that I feel like it's a lose-lose situation in terms of if they play it down there, people are going to complain because they'll fill it.
Yeah.
It'll be a lockout again. It would be. And the backlash from that was huge.
True.
But then Etihad's too huge.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But you never know. You
answer
could get
is.
30,000 down at Etihad.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty cool.
So I think they had to go Etihad because I genuinely think it'll be a lockout.
Yeah. If they had it even at Icon
grounds.
Park.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But I just hope that the people get out for it.
Yeah,
I think
it's
they will.
It's a big gamble. Yeah.
It sounds awesome. If you know the slightest thing about AFLW, you know that these two teams are star-studded and this is going to be a ripping contest. And there's no other footy on. And we love footy around finals time.
That's so true.
I will be there with bells on.
I will be too. Like, so many bells, as a matter of fact.
All the bells.
And
And the whistles. Just all of them.
All of them. Cheering on, you know. I want to see Erin Phillips play again.
Yep.
Because I went down to the Adelaide Bulldogs game at Whitten Oval, and that was when, like, you know, everyone was like, oh, yeah, Erin Phillips, like, she's played basketball for Australia. Like, how great. Like, whatever. And then, but I didn't really cotton onto it then because I think this was, like, the second or third game of the season.
Yep.
I was all about Chelsea Randall. Love Chelsea Randall. But this time I want to go around and just be like, yeah, she's pretty good.
Yeah, look, I'm keen to go and cheer on my little mate, Lily Mithen.
Oh, Lily Mithen was one of my favourite players of the season, so I'm excited to see her
Good,
again.
I'll pass on the message.
Yeah, pass it on.
Nah, she's a gun. So it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it.
So September 2nd, Etihad Stadium, AFLW.
Great to see State of Origin come back.
State of Origin footy is back. So
we love it.
We're very much into it here on the sports desk, and maybe I'll try and work the connections and get us a few interviews or something in the lead up.
Look
Phew.
out. Pew, pew. Yeah,
Let's
that'd be
do it.
awesome.
No, we can do it. Well, we can just get Lily.
Oh, yeah, I'll interview Lily.
Yeah,
That'll
we'll
be
get
great.
Lily on, yeah.
We'll do that. Yes.
But when we come back, we're going to talk what could potentially be the biggest trade in sporting history.
There's also another one developing. We'll get to that later.
Just get ready to burn your ears with the dollars we're going to talk about.
The dollars we're going to talk about. We're going to go to a song now, and this is Circa Waves with My Love.
Agreed.
You're on the sports desk on SYN 90.7. Harun is very excited because we're about to talk soccer, Premier League, La Liga in Spain.
Yeah.
I never know how to say it, that one. Like, I know what it is, but I'm just like...
I just like how you prefaced it with an like you just
do I
back
risk
yourself,
it?
mate.
But Neymar Jr., who is one of the biggest players in the world at the moment, I would arguably say Lionel Messi is just like legend now.
Yeah.
So he's just legend.
Transcended to that.
Yeah.
So Neymar now will probably take that branch. He's the best player at the moment. He's sort of the rightful heir to the another award that I can't say. What is it called? The Ball
The
d'Or.
Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or.
Yep.
Which is the best player in the league award, or best player in the world,
Yeah.
award. So Neymar's sort of the rightful heir. His annual income at the moment is £17 million. So that's about 35 million Australian
It's
dollars.
similar to my own.
Yeah, similar to Mel's.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's
but
it's
it's
a
about
double.
like quadruple
And some.
and some. Yeah.
Yeah.
So talk us through this, Harun.
So currently, it's the worst kept secret in soccer right now that Barcelona are trying to PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, are trying to sign Neymar Jr. for 222 million euros, which is 199 million pounds, which is
That's ludicrous.
300 million Australian dollars almost, which is insane. It'll be the biggest transfer in the world.
So, can you dumb this down a bit for people that aren't super across all of this, i.e. me? How many years are we looking at?
So right now, currently looking at a 6-year deal,
Yep.
which is about 30 million pounds a year, which is about 70 million Australian dollars per year.
And in terms of like salary caps, like do they exist?
No.
No.
They don't.
Or the closest they have to a salary cap is the UEFA Financial Fair Play, which is, in essence, in my opinion, shutting the door on smaller clubs to try and grow through wealthy owners coming in and just injecting money into the club.
Right.
And
The fact that they don't have salary caps astounds me.
Yeah,
which-
but I don't know, because I think soccer's such a big sport, it makes it so
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, true.
You know, when
Where's
you're
the roof?
transferring from like everywhere, it's
Yeah.
like, different
True,
money,
how's it
different.
work?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, and like last season, it was the Chinese clubs
Yeah.
trying to sign away a lot of the big European players, which they got a few. They didn't get many, but that was also the conversation last year that is big money good for the sport? Because when we talk about these big $200 million transfers, it's not just the teams that are making the money; it's the agents that make the money. It's the sponsors. It's there's a lot of people with their hands in the pot.
This guy's agent.
Yeah.
Well, it's his dad, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because of some tax issues, I think 2 seasons ago, I think that's changed. But like for example, there's one super agent last year who was negotiated Paul Pogba's deal from Juventus to Manchester United for I think was £100 million, which was currently the biggest transfer in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And they're asking other teams are trying to sign him as well, but he had a vested interest in one team, and it's like there's a lot of sport ethics being talked about a lot. So currently,
So is this deal gonna happen? You said it's the worst kept secret. Is it on?
It's very. I mean, anything could happen at this point, but I think it might happen just simply because it's just too much money to say no to.
Yeah.
For Barcelona, it's like Messi has the largest release clause in the world, which is 300 million euros.
Wow.
So like even if they let Neymar go, they still have their best player in the world, and he's still by far the most consistent player from the day he debuted. So they have a vested interest to say yes. Here you go, take it.
Yep.
Plus, they're making, I think they signed it for £50 million, so they're making $150 million profit off of one player.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with this trade, so many other players have come into it now to sort of, I don't know, offer advice to Neymar, I would say, and Gerard Piqué.
Gerard Piqué,
Piqué.
his teammate and captain.
My pronunciation is really good today.
Yeah.
Who is the captain of
Barcelona and Spain.
And Spain, that's right. He put a photo of him and Neymar up on his Twitter with the caption that he's staying. But he actually wrote it in Spanish, but I'm not going to embarrass myself.
Yeah, good idea. Given you a form so far today.
Yeah, exactly. And but he's also apparently had a word to Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez as well, and they've tried to convince him to stay at Barcelona. And he's also been on the WhatsApp to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, bloody hell.
And Cristiano Ronaldo has sort of been saying to Neymar that a move to Paris would be a step back in his career. And I think that's the point that I'm sort of the biggest on. Is that why would you leave Barcelona?
Because he will forever be in Messi's shadow. I think that's the big key for him.
Kyrie Irving all over again.
Yeah.
Neymar also just turned 25.
Yeah.
So, prime of your career, biggest
you
player.
don't. Plus, like you're always going to be compared to Messi because, in my opinion, and in many, he's the greatest player to ever played the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But I'm still like, why would you leave Barcelona, wait for Messi to leave, and then the mantle is all yours? Or
yeah,
go
but
to
even
the
if he
Premier
gets
League.
even if he gets the mantle, like he'll still be compared to Messi. And going to the Premier League, I think it's tougher because of the way that they play.
Yeah.
Because it's such more faster, more physical. And
Yeah.
like a lot of overseas players, particularly from Spain, have struggled to adapt because it's just so physical. There's almost no room for skill.
Yeah.
In a sense. But I think Paris, for him, and it's still a historic city, gone from Barcelona to Paris.
True.
His sponsors also, he also endorses Nike, which also is a sponsor of Paris as well. That's another thing.
That's a really handy coincidence.
That is a
Yeah,
coincidence.
and plus, he's and plus it's a nice city as well. It's not like he's going backward in lifestyle.
Yeah,
It's
that's
interesting.
True.
I find it very interesting that you just pointed out that players have weighed in on social media. Like, we don't have that happen as much in AFL and sports here, but like in NBA, as we mentioned earlier, we're kind of seeing that as well. And I find that fascinating.
Yeah.
When players publicly weigh into the rumour mill of it, I kind of love it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Like, it's a bit
kinda
stupid,
cool.
but I love it.
Yeah, even more nuts. I'm currently reading that Manchester City are in for this 19-year-old wonder kid called Kylian Mbappe for also £161 million, which is even
He's
more
19.
insane to me. He's 19. It's like he's younger than me.
I'm crying.
Which
I know.
is insane. Yeah.
I'm literally crying. Oh, my word. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you were... So I feel like, Lucy, you're going to say you wouldn't take it if you were him, but I want to pose it to both of you. Do you take the deal? Do you
No.
go to Paris? Lucy says no.
I'd stay at Barcelona for sure. Because I'm with Cristiano Ronaldo. I think it's a step back in your career. Like, the French league is good.
Yeah,
but
they're not the best, but they're good. But
also, the dollar difference is massive.
Yeah, but you're still making so much money. Like, don't be greedy. Wouldn't
yeah,
you
plus
rather,
like the dollar difference isn't much because Spain and France still use euros.
Yeah.
So like where he spends his money isn't going to be any real different unless he goes to to the Premier League.
I just don't
England.
think it's a risk, and I'm into players taking risks. That's what I like. Like, I think this is an easy step. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, it's easy.
more comfortable.
It's easy to take £200 million and go play for Paris.
And be the king.
And be the king there than it would be to, like, we'll stay on your salary now and play for Barcelona, or potentially make a little bit more and go to a harder place where, you may not adapt in the Premier League, but if you do adapt, you will be hailed as a legend.
Yeah, and like there's precedent for players like him because I think it's gone way back into the history. But like one player, Gianfranco Zola, he was pretty. He's pretty small. Like I don't know, he was 5'6", I think he was. He was able to survive and he thrived in the Premier League. So if he comes, he puts on a little weight, he should be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it'd be hard, but I think don't take it. But that's all we got time for.
That's too much money to say no to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we could go for so long, but we have to wrap up the Sports Desk for today. Thank you so much for listening in. You can find the Sports Desk on the Facebook and also on Twitter. So chuck us a like, a follow, and you can see what's
and
been
comment.
happening. And yeah, exactly. Send us a comment. What do you think?
Yeah, let us know if you would have the balls to knock back that huge deal, to be honest.
£200 million.
I don't think I would.
No, true. But like when you're already earning like
Yeah.
$17 million a year.
It's 10 million more, that much of a difference, yeah.
So thank you so much for listening on the Sports Desk this Wednesday morning. We will be back on Friday morning to look at a huge weekend of sport that will be coming up. I am Lucy.
Oh yeah, I'm Mel.
And I'm Harun.
And we will be back next Wednesday with more Spolitics.
Politics!
Woo! This is with Drew Barrymore, and this is in 90.7.